Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist and welcome. If you are a new subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for returning, and y'all tell all your friends. Um, it's been a wonderful week here in Phoenix, and this is my Flosstube number 78. And I'm going to talk mostly about cross stitch, and I do have some quilting. Well, some trying to quilt. And then, um, yeah, that's all I have. I don't have any haul this week. It's been one of those quiet weeks. But my dad has not been feeling particularly well, so I've spent a lot more time with him. And if he's lonely or whatever, I spend time with him. That's the most important thing. And so I cross stitch when I'm with him, for watching a television program or what have you. And so I have more cross stitch than anything else. I did want to get back to the sewing machine and do things, but that is less important than my dad. So, um, but otherwise, it's been a great week in Phoenix. It is absolutely beautiful outside. It got up to 85 last week. And that I know in many parts of the world, country, whatever, 85 is hot. Here, it is not hot. And Phoenix, now, I personally don't enjoy being outside because I am allergic to outside. But Phoenix is a city that has quite a bit of outside activities. The only one I enjoy is swimming, but we have a swimming pool in the backyard. But 85 is not warm enough to swim. Although I do have access to a heated pool that I may go to later today. Anyway, but other than that, there's also hiking and all kinds of stuff that people like to do outside, jogging, running. Beautiful weather. In the mornings, it's cool but not cold, and same in the evenings. And then 85, it's pleasant weather for being outside if you want to play tennis or whatever. So I like to call this Chamber of Commerce weather because that's why they do spring training here with the baseball teams and stuff. Although I don't think they did it this year. I haven't been paying attention, honestly. But I love living here. I love the weather here, and I don't mind the heat in the summer. I have air conditioning and a swimming pool. I'm fine. And it can get kind of brutal. 120. You don't even want to go outside at all. But I love it. Anyway, so on our Three Sisters creative video, we had our 200th subscriber giveaway, and a woman from Finland won. And so we went to the post office to mail it, my sister and I. Now, my sister doesn't drive, but she knows how to fill out custom forms because her friend lives all different countries. He moves around. So I didn't go by myself. My sister and I went. So we're filling out the customs forms, and you know how sometimes when you get an email, it kind of takes out the formatting somewhat. So we weren't exactly sure how to write out the address. And so we stood in line, and it happened to be around noon, and there was only one person. Now, she's a great employee. She's quick, she's friendly, she knows what she's doing, and yes, that is not necessarily true of all post office employees. But she was the only one there, so we had to wait. And we asked our questions. We went back to finish filling out the form. Now, this was not quick, but it wasn't, didn't take forever to do those two things. The longest time took waiting to talk to her in the first place. But then we had to go get in line again. And right as we were getting up to the front, someone came back from lunch. It was a trainee. Now, he had his trainer standing behind him, but she knew that we were doing international postage. So, the other woman. So she said, no, he needs to learn how to do this, so you go to him. Now, she knew us because we had been in many times, and she knew that we weren't going to bite his head off. So we went to this young man, and okay, if you have a job that involves typing, they have typing courses that you can take on your computer. They're very easy, very fast. You can learn well. And then because it was a customs form, he, just like we had earlier, wasn't sure if he was, but we had it all written out, but he wasn't sure he was doing it correctly, so he had to keep stopping and asking. And then when he would talk to us, he was looking at the computer keyboard and he had a mask on, and my sister, who was actually the one up in front talking to him, she's deaf in one ear, so she couldn't understand half of what he was saying. I had to translate. So this was taking forever. And finally we got done. And I looked, and we had been in there for an hour. And it wasn't that we minded. It was just, if we had been able to go to the other lady, it would have been like that. It really would have. So we consoled ourselves by, going to Walmart. Now, I didn't get any haul or anything like that for cross stitch or anything at Walmart. I bought other stuff. I bought some little bee buttons because I wanted more bees for my Daisy May and my honeybee, but I don't have them here. Just the little bee buttons. You'll see them later on. So anyway, and then what else did I do this week? I have no memory. My son has been, in the police academy, and now he was in the pre-academy, so now he's in the academy today. But I have been helping him out by ironing his shirts. Now, he knows how to iron. He was in the Navy. They made him iron his own clothes. He knows how to do it. But, he wants his mom to do it. And I go ahead and do it because, I don't know, because I'm a mom, I guess. So I've spent a lot of time ironing this week. But I've told him, I don't want to do that anymore. And he's like, but Mom, please. I don't know. Anyway, that's not why we're here, is it? No. Oh, and my dog. Want to say hi, Rogue? Hi. No, that's the camera. There, say hi. So I've told you before that she itched a lot, and I'd been giving her, I've been taking her to the vet over and over about it. And the last time they gave her a $70 shot that was supposed to help, and it did not do anything. And I told them, I can't keep doing that. I just can't. Especially if it's not going to work. And she had taken steroids the first time they told us to do Benadryl. And that was okay, and it kind of helped, but not really. And so all this time I'd been using Benadryl to try to see if I could, help, because all the vet visits are expensive and they haven't been helping her. But because they said they didn't want to give her steroids again because they shouldn't put her on steroids constantly, and I understand that's true, But I noticed that she was looking at me like this. I was like, well, that's not good. And I noticed the whites of her eyes were very, very, very red. And I was like, yeah, I got to take her in. And her skin was looking really bad. I was like, I can't do this anymore. She's suffering, and I got to figure out, but I got to tell them, I don't want something that's not going to work. I just can't afford to keep bringing her back. So, poor little girl, she's got eye drops, which she absolutely hates. She was vomiting every day, I think because she was licking her skin so much. I don't know why. But so she's taking something for that. She's taking an antibiotic because he did think that she had an infection in her skin. And did I mention eye drops already? And then they put her back on steroids. And she is much more comfortable now. She's not scratching and biting at herself. And yeah, and her eyes are better. Show them your beautiful eyes. See? No winking. No winking. No. Anyway, she's a lot more comfortable. But I have to give her medicine twice a day. And she doesn't mind because, peanut butter. I've tried a lot of different ways to give her medicine, and that's the easiest. It's peanut butter. So, no barking. Okay. All right. So that's not why we're here. We're here about sewing and cross stitch and stuff like that. So I'm going to start with the attempt at. I had a day that I was like, I'm going to sew today. I'm going to work a little bit on this. All I had left to do is make these flying geese and then do the sashing stuff, right? Before I can finish the quilt top. And on WhipGo, I had this for February. It was WhipGo number 5, 20 days on this, and I'm not at 20 days yet. So I wanted to make these. I'm going to try to put a picture here of my attempts to do this. Now, she said to take, you could either cut the stack of squares that they told you to cut in a particular size, which I had them cut it in half, and it would make this size of triangle. Or you could use the triangles that you cut off of when you're making this or this. She said you could use those too. No. I attempted, and she said it was wonky flying geese, that they didn't have to be precise and they didn't have to be perfect. Well, I tried, and I did not like the way they were coming out. I thought they were hideous, and they weren't meeting up with the edges. The picture should tell you what I was talking about. So I was like, well, that's not going to work. So I started sewing them like this, and I was going to put another row, and they go on these shorter. There's the tall cat, and it's to make up this section. And then when I put it here on the shorter cat, well, actually it would be here. If I were to put this here, because this fits, there should be another row on this, but if I were to put it here, it would just look like the other cats. It would look like a continuation of the same thing. And I could just make a row of them. Stop it. I could just make a row of them, just sew them together like this and put them here just like that, you know. And I may still do that. I thought briefly about just sewing them all together in a big square and then cutting things down, or sewing them together in smaller things and then cutting them and making like a whole bunch of little squares and sewing them all together and then, you know, sewing them on here in the right size, which would be 5 by 9, I think. And I have extra of this fabric that I could do that with. So I am at I need to decide for sure what I'm doing before I do anything else. Honestly, I was thinking that if I did making them just like this, which is how they were intended to go, right? That I could snowball one side with the bigger triangle, and it would look kind of like that. And I could do that on all 4 corners. And then maybe it would look kind of like a little pillow that the cat's sitting on. And when I hold this on here, it looks like, well, you know, maybe that would have worked. Except there's a big gap right here. And flying geese, the ones on the picture, they don't have that big gap. And if I get it where the gap here doesn't show, then the triangle doesn't go to the edge. I don't know how this is supposed to fit. And I've never made flying geese before, but I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to look like that. But I could snowball this and, you know, use a full square to do it and snowball it. I thought about taking the squares with a single one, taking the triangles, and just kind of appliquing it on top and zigzag stitching it so that it would kind of look right. I don't know. Or I could go to the store and buy more of this and just put a big square of this background color under the cat. Thoughts? Suggestions? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not happy. So, yeah. So I'm not going to sew any more on that if I don't know what I'm doing. And then by the time I just was like, this isn't going to work, and I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I have to do something different. Well, the time I had allotted for being able to sew was gone. And what I should have done was, what my first instinct was, to take my son's quilt and start quilting it some more. His birthday is the 8th of April, and I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if I could actually finish his quilt by then? So I think I'm going to concentrate on doing that. I have about half of it left to quilt, and if I concentrate on that, I should be able to make a great deal of headway toward that. Which means I can't be spending so much time cross-stitching. But there's so much I want to cross-stitch. Anyway, that is the only quilting I have attempted this week, and I've gotten absolutely nothing done on that. So, I had finished my whip goal of the the start on the rabbits, and I did rabbits at the cafe. I was working on this, so I wanted to do some more work on this, and I am enjoying this. I saw East Coast Crafter. She did rabbits, carrots, and eggs, and she only did the top portion, because see how this has a bottom part? Well, so does that pattern. And she only did the top portion, and she changed the colors. She made the bunnies brown and had brighter colors, and it was really beautiful. But I had already started it like this, so I like the white bunnies. I do. I like their tiny little feet. Anyway, she's wearing shoes. You see her little shoes. I didn't get a whole lot done on it. But I've gotten a little, look at the little chicks, aren't they cute? I've gotten a little more done. I went ahead and put in the buttons, the color, the called for color, because I was like, I don't feel like thinking. So I went ahead and used it there, went ahead and did it. So I have one more bunny to put in over here. I have to put the border down like that. And there's some more of these little starbursts in here, but this is the bottom of the pattern. This is a basket that's filled with stuff right here. And that's the basket. And the chicks have little hearts above them, and then there's another egg here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So I'm getting there. So, I'll just keep plugging away at it. Easter is late in the month, this year, so I may get it done. I don't know. I want to. I have a whole bunch of Easter finishing things, so I'm hoping. I'm hopeful. So my other WhipGo project for this month is Halloween Gnomes. By the way, WhipGo is the brainchild of Jessie Marie, and Jessie Marie does stuff, and you can go on her YouTube channel and find instructions how to do it. But basically, it's like bingo. You set up your own WhipGo board, bingo board, and you she'll call 2 numbers every month, and you you set your own goal, whatever your personal goal is. You know, I want to pull out this project and work on it for X number of days, X number of hours, or get so many stitches put in, or however you want to put it. And I populated mine with quilting and with cross stitch, because there were certain quilting projects I wanted to be sure to get some time in on, and I wanted to complete. Like my son's quilt, I want to finish it. Apparently not bad enough, because I have not worked on it in some time. My son is like, are you ever going to finish my quilt? So I need to do it. But my other WhipGo goal for this month is 10 days on Halloween Gnomes. Now, this is Halloween Gnomes by Ursula Michaels. Designed by Ursula Michaels. It's for Imaginating. Anyway, it's actually not for me, but I might keep it because I love it. So last week I was in the process of backstitching this guy, and this is how far I've gotten on the other guy, and I am at 6 days so far. So I'm hopeful that I can get most or all of this guy done. I wasn't thinking I was going to get him all done, but he's easier than this one. So I'm hopeful. So that is Halloween Gnomes, my Whip Go 21. So far 6 days out of 10. So I have to the end of the month to see if I can finish that goal, and I think I will. And I am gonna try the rest of this month to finish my son's quilt, which is my Whip Go number 2, which was called in January. So if I get my son's quilt done, and I think I have a good 4 days that I need to work on it to get it done. If I just like concentrate on it, maybe more. But if I get that done, I'm going to move over to Itty Bitty Quilt Committee, Itty Bitty Kitty Committee, which is I don't have it here with me, but I was doing that also in January, and I think I can easily. I have all the blocks ready. I just need to do the sashing and stick the blocks and the sashing together. I need to make sure I square up my kitty blocks, make sure they're all the same size. And that might mean that I need to make the other blocks a different size. I hope not, because the sashing instructions are different than just making little squares and sewing them on. But if I have to make it slightly smaller to make them all the same size, then I'll have to do the sashing the traditional way, which is fine. But all I have left on that is the sashing and to sew the top together. And I am at, I think, 15 days on that out of 20. And I don't think doing that will take 5 days. But if I get the top done, I'll be happy. But if I get the top done and I still have more days that I need to work to finish the goal, that'll mean I need to, figure out what I'm doing for the back and then go from there. But I am not going to do the same kind of quilting pattern that I'm doing on my son's, which I wish I had chosen some different one. But yeah, so I'm in a better place with that one. This one, I thought I would be able to knock those out, those flying geese out. Not quickly, precisely, but easier than what I'm having. I'm never afraid of learning new things, and the instructions have pictures, and yeah. I don't know. So now I'm going to figure out what to do. Now I'm going to move on to my berry sow. And I'm working on this berry. Now, right here, you can see on here, that's the oyster color on the end of this thing. Yeah, first, I want to show you that I have a finish. This is Hop into Spring. The only called for I used in this is this. I did this on Pink Splash, Marana Corée, 32 count. I used Weeks Dye Works Mountain Mist for these. It's charted in Scuppernog, what is that called? I don't know. Which I have, but I just didn't want to use it. And this was charted in No, this was charted in lily pad. We'll talk about that in a minute. So this is what I used instead of Scuppernong, which is Frog's Legs by Classic Colorworks. This was charted in lily pad, which is a Weeks Dye Works colors. And I just thought it was too dark. This is lily pad. I just thought it was too dark. So I used Mountain Mist. Right here, where I was supposed to use Scuppernong on this right here, I thought, you know, that doesn't really go with the rest of it. So I chose Pistachio. I think I had mentioned that before. And that is that's Pistachio. Okay? So, and then instead of Scuppernong, I used pink. I mean, oyster. I used pink because I wanted my flowers not to be, this is oyster. It's a kind of a purpley gray color. And I liked the pink better. So I'm really happy with the way this came out. Very, very happy. So then I have a new start. I started on, Is It Spring? This is where I am. Except this is Mountain Mist and this is Pistachio. This is supposed to be lily pad and this is supposed to be Scuppernong. And then this is supposed to also be lily pad. And I meant to, the Mountain Mist, I did it in Mountain Mist. And I wanted to stick with Mountain Mist and Pistachio because, where's my Pistachio? I just had it in my hand. This is Pistachio. This was Mountain Mist that's missing. So this is Mountain Mist, and this is Pistachio. And you see how you can see kind of this darker green in there, even though they're different companies. And this Frog's Legs, which I used on the first one, it looks like these two combined, this Pistachio, almost. But even though here these look like two very different colors, when I put them in here, they really don't. And I was like, I don't know if I like that. And then with the words, it was just, in the Mountain Mist, it just was too light. But I meant to put that in a lily pad, which, as I said before, is this green color. Accidentally, I put them in this color, so I'm going to have to take them out again. This is Bark, which is a brown. Now, it doesn't look bad necessarily, but the bird is in Bark. So I want to take them out and put them again in lily pad. But after doing the words in this in a darker color, I thought, you know what, that doesn't look so bad. And then I have a little bit of pink that's going to go here and a little bit of pink here and there. But I haven't put in the stem here because I needed to look at it and with the words in a different color to decide. And I think with the words darker, I can leave the Mountain Mist, because that way it'll go better with the other two, I think. I mean, they don't have to look exactly the same. They're on different fabrics and all that, but, you know, to use some of the same colors. Now, for the bird, I think I've talked about this before. For the bird, it's Bark, and it's supposed to be Cognac, which is this orangey color, which would be okay, I guess. But since my birds on the other one have this, I don't know what this is on it, I have this red, I think I'm going to do red. The birds in the other one are charted in blue. It was the only called for that I used. But I think I'm going to do red for that bird. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on this? Let me know. That's what I get for changing any of the colors. I'm looking for the pins. These aren't pins, but there's some pins that are in this, and I'm going to have to order them direct from Patini, I think. I looked at the attic, and I looked on a different website. They were out. So, this is actually stitching pretty quickly. It's an easier pattern, I think. So I'm going to take this out and put it in a lily pad, finish the words in lily pad, but I'm thinking I'm going to leave this mountain mist, because then this pink flower, it'll go with the others, I think, better. I don't know. And I know I didn't need this whole width for this berry, but I don't know. I just went ahead and I could have started it higher up too, but wasting fabric. It's stupid. But it'll only go down to about here, so I have all the rest of this fabric for something, so we'll see. I should have put it more in the corner, but I was being lazy. Now I'm like, well, that was stupid. Hi, I am adding this in because I forgot to tell you about my Narnia, and I have worked on it some, and I just, when I was cleaning up, I found it. I was like, uh-oh, I forgot to show this. Sorry, I have my threads on there. I know that that's a big... So I realized as I was getting here that I put this in the wrong spot. I'm really the queen of having to redo things, because when I was working on this, I realized that I had written Narnia instead of Narnia, so I had to take out the A and insert the I and put the A, and now I have this in the wrong place. Anyway, that's the Chronicles of Narnia Stitching Book Club, and I will insert a picture of what the current is. I think they're putting the last part out this Saturday, so there it is. All my cross stitch. So it's been pretty short again. I did order from Cobweb Corner. Helen D is with them on, there's a discount that is good all year long on the seasonal berries by Erica Michaels. So I ordered the summertime berries because I figure as soon as this is done, I want the other one. And they had it at Michaels, but I was looking for the pins, the Patini pins. And I know that she was trying to get them in. And I thought, well, if I can get a discount on the pattern and those pins, only one shipping thing, you know, be better, right? When I went on there to look for the summertime berries, and it was in, and it was on sale. Cool. And I got the discount, which was what was it? It was Helen something Berry. I'm sorry, I don't remember what it was. HD Berry, I think. I don't know. It, the the code is on Helen D's, because her YouTube channel is Helen D. So HD Berry sounds right. To get a percentage off, and then they were also on sale, so that was cool. And they did not have this. She didn't have the spring pins, but she had the summer pins, so I went ahead and got those. So I guess I'm going to have to go to Patini Patini and order the Patini Patini. I've been saying Patini Patini, but I think it might be Jabco. Yeah, Jabco. Helps to go to the right website to order these things, right? Mm-hmm. So, I was saying it wrong all along. It's because I was looking at a pattern by Patini Patini. I guess I had that on the brain. But, sorry, my allergies have kicked in because the wind is blowing like you wouldn't believe. So I look like I have 30 bags under my eyes. Yeah, just another button company, mini pins. So I guess I'm just going to have to go order them directly from that company. But I'm almost where I'm going to need them, and I want to go ahead and finish them fairly quickly because it is spring, right? Well, spring comes around, but it would be nice. So I want to finish this off and get all three done. What's nice is if I don't have the pins afterward, I can just go put them in. Not a big deal. So I do have the wool already to finish it, and yeah. Well, I've jabbered on long enough, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope you come back next time and bring friends. Yeah, I'm almost at 100. I know that's a very small channel, compared to many other floss tubes, but I'm almost at 100. I'm very happy about that, and so I don't know what I'm going to do for 100 viewers, but I will do something. So thank you for visiting, and I hope to see you next week.